Hi, my name is Lior, and I am remotEMDR's COO and co-founder. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the platform. To start using remotEMDR, go to remotEMDR.com. Then click here, Get Started for free. Fill in your first name, last name, email, and password. You will now receive a no-commitment 14-day free trial. When you log into the platform, you will see this screen, which is the platform's main screen, the client list. You need to have at least one client to start working with the platform. Click Add Client and fill in your client's name. You can change your client's country if you would like to. You don't have to. You can also change their language. Once again, you don't have to. We support many different languages. And if you would like, you can add the client's email address. Whenever you're ready, click Create Client. Here is the first client on my list. As preparation, you will have to send your client an invitation to the session. The way to do that is to click the Invite Client button. Then you can either copy the invitation link by clicking Copy Link and then sending it to your client by pasting it into a new email message, or just click Send Link. This way, the link will be sent automatically to the client's email address you've entered. Please note that this link is reusable. You don't have to resend it on every session. You send it once per client, and they can use it again and again in future sessions. When it's time to begin the session, click Start Session to enter the session screen. Down below, you see me. This is me, Lior. I'm connected. That is why I have a green circle next to my name. And this is Bob, my client, who is not connected yet, so that is why his name is marked in red. Now let's see Bob's perspective. Bob will receive this email, and then he needs to click on the link and click Join Session. Back to me. I received this notification. Bob just logged in. At this point, I need to decide whether I want to use remotEMDR's internal video chat or an external telehealth platform, like DoxyMe, Simple Practice, Zoom, and so on. Unless you're obligated to use one of these options, I highly recommend using the remotEMDR's internal video chat. It is an excellent video chat that is HIPAA compliant, and it's part of the holistic solution that we offer our clients. You can set your microphone and camera by clicking Video Chat Settings. You can do that before you start the session. And whenever you're ready, click Start remotEMDR Video Chat and wait for your client to accept the call. When your client receives the invitation, they simply need to click the Start Video Chat button. So, we have here a complete video chat where I can see a large image of the other side and a small thumbnail image of myself that I can drag and drop around the screen. And my client will have a similar view, a large image of me, the therapist, and a small thumbnail image of himself. Both my client and I have all the necessary video chat options available on the right side of the screen. These include full screen mode or exit full screen mode, settings that allow me to change the microphone and camera. I can mute myself like I just did at the beginning so that you won't hear me twice. I can turn the camera off and on again. I can share my screen with the other side. I can click Record, and then if my client accepts the recording, I can record the session and then save it on my personal computer. I can also send my client text messages, including files that I can send to my client. remotEMDR's main feature is located at the bottom of the session screen. This is where you can find the control panel that controls all of the different aspects of the bilateral stimulation. Please note that if you don't use the control panel for several seconds, it will collapse down so that it doesn't disturb you. To activate it, move your mouse over it and it will reopen automatically. Then, you can click the play button in the middle to start the BLS. The BLS will be activated on both devices simultaneously, both your device and your client's. This means that you, the therapist, will keep seeing your client's face, and at the bottom of your screen, you will see the moving elements. Together, this will allow you to make sure that the client tracks the ball's movement with their eyes as they need to, because you will have a clear view of the client's eye movement and the bilateral stimulation's movement. Meanwhile, this will be your client's perspective. Your client will only see the moving elements, and they will not see you. They will hear you and the auditory stimulus, but they won't see you. And whenever you feel like it's enough, you can click the Stop button, and then automatically, your image will return, and they will see you again, and everything will be back to normal. So, once again, by default, you can always see your client. But your client doesn't see you during the processing. In some cases, you may decide that the client should have eye contact with you and keep seeing you during the processing for various therapeutic reasons. If this is the case, click this button, Video Chat Settings. Where you set your microphone and camera, you have a third option, Video During the BLS. You can switch it from Don't Show Video to Show Thumbnail Video. Then, your client will see a small thumbnail image of you during the processing so that they can maintain eye contact with you. Okay, let's move on. As I mentioned, the control panel will collapse after a few seconds if it's not in use. If you want it to stay open, you can click the pushpin icon available in the lower right corner. This way, the control panel will remain open at all times. Play will start the BLS, stop will end it. Note that whenever you click stop, it won't stop immediately. It has to complete the current repetition. Seconds is the number of seconds left for the current set. By default, the set is defined to be exactly 1 minute. After 1 minute, it will stop automatically. Repetitions is the number of completed repetitions. Because this is the control panel's most essential part, we added this bonus feature, Eject Player. You can click here to make the player pop out, and then you can drag and drop it around the screen, locate it wherever you want it to be, or click here to rotate it to vertical mode. It's like holding it with your hands. If you don't like this feature, you can always drag the player back down and place it back into the control panel. On the screen's left side, you will find 4 control tabs: General, Display, Colors, and Sound. Each tab controls different aspects of the platform. Let's start with the General tab. Here, you can control the BLS's speed, make it extra slow, which is 1, or extra fast, which is 40, or anything in between. The Duration button determines the set's duration, set to 60 seconds by default. You can set it to be any other number you see here, or infinity if you want it to simply keep on going without any limitation. If you want to enter any specific number of your own, you can double-click here with your mouse and then use your keyboard to enter any number. So, for example, I can enter 77, and the set will be 77 seconds long. If you prefer to set the duration by repetitions instead of by seconds, you can switch the duration type from seconds to repetitions. Then the number here will influence the number of repetitions per set. So, for example, now it's set to 20 repetitions. Once again, you can select any other number you see here, or infinity, or type in your own number. For instance, 88 will be 88 repetitions. Therapist View determines the way that you, the therapist, will see the moving elements. By default, it's set to visual elements at the bottom, so while for my client, the visual elements are in the middle of the screen, for me, the therapist, they're at the bottom of the screen. You can also set the button to No Visual Elements, and then you won't see them, only your client will. Or you can set it to Client Perspective, and then you will see them at the same height as your client does. Let's move on to the Display tab. In the Type tab, you can select the type of visual BLS. This is Scan. You can also set it to Vertical, Diagonal Left, Diagonal Right, Saccade, Saccade Vertical, Infinity, Reverse Infinity, Ellipse, Reverse Ellipse. We have the Random feature, which randomly changes the movement type every couple of seconds. And last, we have the Sound Only option. This way, only the auditory stimulus will be activated. The Height button allows me to control the visual element's exact height. 1 is the lowest and 40 is the highest, and I can set it to be anything in between. Elements lets me determine if there will be 2 elements or 1. Shape allows me to change the visual element's shape. Instead of circles, I can select squares, teddy bears, cats, flowers, cars, dogs, balls. Each visual element comes in several sizes, so I can select both the shape and the size. In the Colors tab, I can fully customize the background's colors, the element's color, and the color of the center of the elements. If there is a specific color or shade that I'm looking for that is not available here, I can click again, and I'll be offered more colors, more shades, so I can find the specific color I'm looking for. In the Sound tab, I can control the auditory stimulus's various aspects. First, I can decide who will hear the auditory stimulus. By default, it's set to Client Only, meaning that only my client will hear the auditory stimulation. I can set it to Sound Off, and then no one will hear it, or Sound On, and then both my client and I will hear the sound. The volume is simply the auditory stimulus's volume. I can set it to anything from 1 to 40. And there are 3 types of auditory stimulus. The first one is sound effect. If I select sound effect, I can select which sound effect will be played from several effects. And it will be right, left in synchronization with the visual element's movement. The second option is music. If I select music, I can choose from 8 different tracks of special bilateral music, which is relaxing music that shifts from side to side. The volume of it shifts from side to side, synchronized with visual elements movement. So it's both relaxing and effective. And last, I can select nature sounds, where I can choose from multiple options like jungle, rain, wind, ocean, and so on. Once again, everything will be played bilaterally. We highly recommend that the client uses headphones or earbuds for the auditory stimulus to be effective. Another available feature is the Notes feature. I can click this button, and then I can click Add New Note to add the client's first note. Then I can fill out all relevant EMDR notes, including target, image, PC, VOC, SUD. Everything will be saved and available to me. I can close it and open it at any given time. Everything will be there. I can always add more notes by clicking Add New Note. I can duplicate notes by moving my mouse here and selecting Duplicate Note, and then this note can be duplicated, and I can edit it. And I can copy the note to my clipboard to paste it on a different page if I'd like to. When it's time to end the session, I click the End Session button here and return to remotEMDR's main screen. I can always click on the client's name to enter their profile, where I can update their details and see all of the available notes. And this way, I can prepare for the session and refresh my memory. I can click Print Note to print out the client's notes, or Download to download all of their notes. When I click Start Session, I will start the session again with this specific client, Bob. And I will find out that everything is exactly as I left it with Bob, with the colors and the elements and the speed and the sound. All of Bob's settings are as I left them. Everything was saved under preset 1. I can have up to 3 different presets per client. To add presets, I click the plus icon here. Then I can click it again. This way, I will have 3 different presets, and I can decide, for example, that preset number 3 will be this background color. Preset number 2 will be that background color. Then I can simply shift between presets and everything will change accordingly. I can even edit the preset's name by double-clicking it. And this way, I can type, for example, that preset number 3 will be Bob's Safe Place. This is just for my comfort. I can define the presets however I want them to be. To remove a preset, I double-click its tab and then click the small X here, and the preset will be removed. I hope you found this video clear and helpful. We're always available to answer any questions at info@remotEMDR.com.